So we should all know how I feel about the original Matrix trilogy, seeing as how I recently reviewed them all. The first Matrix film, I think, is a cool sci-fi action film, but it isn't the masterpiece that people say it is. The Matrix Reloaded has some cool visuals, cool action scenes, and some interesting half-baked ideas, which technically were ripped off from Dune Messiah, but despite all of those positives, it is just boring as hell. And The Matrix Revolutions has a really boring first half, mainly because of the battle between the people in Zion and the machines. I mean, that thing goes on forever. It is just people in mechs firing at the machines for like 45 minutes straight. Like, what were the Wachowskis thinking? But a lot of the stuff like Neo and Trinity's side quest and then Neo going into the Matrix, being plugged into the Source and fighting Agent Smith in the grand finale is just really fucking cool. The trilogy itself is bad, but from a visual standpoint and the overall story idea, I kind of like the Matrix trilogy, but not really because I don't like the second and third film. But it has stuck with me, and in a lot of ways, I think The Matrix Revolutions was the perfect ending to the Matrix trilogy. Like, that film ended, and I was like, I don't need any more Matrix films. That being said, the trailer for The Matrix Resurrections actually does build a case as to why a Matrix 4 is needed. Because, I mean, this is the return of Neo. Matrix Revolutions at the end did technically promise that Neo would return one day, and this, I'm assuming, is the story of how Neo is alive and how he has come back. I don't actually think Neo died when he entered the Source and defeated Agent Smith. I just think he was put into a coma, and that the Source just took him back, repaired his body, and then plugged him back into the Matrix. The trailer itself just poses so many interesting questions, like, how is Neo back? How is Trinity back? Where is Laurence Fishburne? Is Yahya Abdul-Mateen's version of Morpheus actually Morpheus, or is he Morpheus' son or grandson? Like, where is Laurence Fishburne? Why is Neo being sedated with all the blue pills? What's up with Neil Patrick Harris's psychiatrist character? Side note, I didn't even know that Neil Patrick Harris was in this movie, so when I saw him in the trailer, I got really excited because, I mean, like, I love Neil Patrick Harris, and just, he's actually a really good fit for the Matrix aesthetic, if that makes sense. Like, imagine his character from Gone Girl, but, like, put into the Matrix. Like, I think that just works perfectly, and just, I can't wait to see more of Neil Patrick Harris in this film. Overall, the trailer makes the film look really cool. I mean, you've got Jessica Henwick in it, the action looks pretty great, the cinematography, although not Bill Pope's awesome green aesthetic, it just looks really visually interesting. That constant golden hour glow actually fits in with the aesthetic of the end of the Matrix Revolution, seeing as how Neo brought peace to the Matrix and it's forever golden and sunny, and it seems like that's being carried over into this film, which is a cool bit of continuity. Though, I won't lie, I am gonna miss the green film grain aesthetic of the original trilogy, because, I mean, it's just so ingrained into my brain, like, that's what I think of when I think of The Matrix. Now, as cool as the trailer is, there is a very valid concern that this film might just be a retread of the original Matrix film, similar how The Force Awakens is a retread of A New Hope. But I personally think that the look of the trailer and the way it was set up, all the questions raised, it makes it feel like it isn't gonna just be a retread of the original Matrix. It might rely on some of the iconography and visual imagery from the original Matrix, but it's gonna be different. Especially considering that there's probably going to be a bigger mystery surrounding the main plot of the film. I mean, yes, you see the influences of the original film, like Neo fighting Morpheus in the dojo, the blue pills, the red pills, the agents, but I actually think the scenes with Neo rediscovering his powers is probably going to occur in like the first half of the film, maybe even earlier, because I think that the film is going to be Neo unlocks his godlike potential right from the start, and then it's, you know, solving the bigger mystery of what is the plot. Like, is it a new war with the machines? Is Neo being sedated by the Matrix for a specific purpose? Is Neo stuck within a Matrix within a Matrix? Like, I don't know what this film is about, and that kind of really interests me. I'm super intrigued about this film, and in a lot of ways, if this film's ending is sort of like a revolution, like this is a new war versus the machines, or if it's a Matrix within a Matrix, I think if this film does well box office and HBO Max viewing wise, this could potentially be the start of a new Matrix trilogy. And that in itself sounds really exciting to me because, I mean, not only do we get more Keanu Reeves, but also the Matrix world is really interesting. All the stuff from the spin-offs and the online games and comics and stuff, that just sounds really cool, and I kind of want to see more of that explored on film, and just the idea of more Matrix is kind of interesting to me, despite the fact that the original trilogy is just that weird conundrum of the films are bad, but the ideas are kind of cool, but then the ideas are also ripped off from Dune Messiah, but it's still really cool. But I digress. The Matrix Resurrections looks really interesting, and fingers crossed the film is good and it doesn't suck. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, follow me on social media, all that good stuff, and until we meet again, see you guys next time.